Serving out of love and loyalty. This is important. Luke 17:19. Now, which of you, having a slave plowing or tending sheep, will say to him after he comes in from the field, come immediately and recline at the table to eat? On the contrary, will he not say to him, prepare something for me to eat, and properly clothe yourself and serve me while I eat and drink, and afterward you may eat and drink. Now, let's take this parable analogy and look at it from an eternal perspective. Let's say that you are that servant. You're plowing the field, you're tending the sheep, and then you die. And the death, now you cross over to the other side, and that is where you come to the table where you are actually in the presence of your master, and he's eating at the table, and you're expecting him to say at this point, come and sit with me, and you're gonna be my best buddy, you're gonna hang out with me. But what if he tells you, like, you get into heaven, you get into eternity, and he's like, oh, cool, you made it. All right, you're home now. Can you go get me something to eat? And a lot of us are going to be like, wait, what? You mean I worked my whole life, worked my butt off just to go get you, hopefully I don't sound disrespectful, just go to the fridge and go, make you something? Like, that's what this is all about? Well, maybe it is. People tell me all the time, they're like, I just want to get out of this life. I can't take this anymore. It's so bad. And I tell people all the time, like, this is one of the things, by the way, which I really think drives a lot of conspiracy theories out there about how it's all going to come to an end really soon. Like next week. Oh yeah. You have the whole rapture crowd, right? They never plan it for tomorrow. The rapture is never tomorrow. It's always like 2 months off, right? But you can make it another 2 months, so what are we in January now? So, definitely by this April, it's happening. It's happening, by this April, every year, right? But then you have all the different, the groups out there, you're saying, they figure out some timetable and something. Oh, by 2030, it's all coming to an end. It's, don't worry, you're not going to grow old. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about your bones creaking and, all the bad decisions you made in your life, they won't catch up to you. You just hang on. And what I tell people all the time, I'm like, first of all, we all need to plan for the long haul. And the problem is a lot of us, we chose the curse in our lives, and people come over to the Torah and they're like, well, where's the blessing? Where is it at? Well, what did you expect? You expect them just to give you the penthouse? Like, oh, great job, you're keeping the Sabbath now, go live in the penthouse. No, we chose the curse. Our parents chose the curse. By the way, a lot of Christians are choosing the blessing and they don't even realize it. There are a lot of Christians out there who they are living way more according to the Torah than they ever give credit to, and they are making wise decisions with their finances. They're not in debt. They study hard. They work good jobs. That they have money to give to ministries to help clothe people. They're doing the things that Messiah wants them to do. They made good decisions. But getting back to my point, if you do not find the joy in your servitude now, I don't want to say this because I'm not a crystal ball, but I've seen it enough to come to the conclusion of you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. Like, if you don't enjoy living a righteous lifestyle now and pursuing righteousness and wanting to be obedient for the sake of being obedient to your Father in heaven, what makes you think it's going to change when you get to heaven? Nothing is going to change at all. It's not going to be just something like robotic, beep, boop, 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 bop, when you get to heaven, like all of a sudden you're just doing it. Like, no, like we will still have free will. I am of the opinion that many people will get to heaven and their soul, they have spent their lifetime kind of conforming their soul into a certain image. Like, you look at my face, I mean, I'm not the most attractive guy. Like, I will never be Fabio. I'm sorry, ladies, I will never be Fabio up on the catwalk. It's never going to happen. I had, as far as I know, I never made a decision on what I look like, right? Now, maybe in a pre-existence, we could have that conversation, but every single one of us, some of you listening might, men and women, you might be handsome or drop dead gorgeous, right? Other people listening, maybe a little bit less on the gene pool. That's just the way it is, right? None of us can choose what we look like, but we can choose what our souls look like. We can conform our place here in this life is to conform our souls into what it looks like in glory for eternity. A lot of people don't think that way. And I am of the opinion, I mean, there's no chapter and verse that says this, but based on everything I read, I'm of the opinion that some people will get into eternity and they might be fat. And they're like, this wasn't supposed to be like this. And then, it'll be like St. Peter or someone, and they'll be like, well, we gave you the instructions and we told you not to live like a slob and to, not be slothful or gluttonous, and you chose to be, and that's how you've conformed yourself to be. Again, just going back to this idea that love your work now, be obedient to your master now, and recognize when you go into eternity, you're not going to be on vacation for eternity. You will still be laboring for your master in heaven. You got to love doing it. If you do not love doing it now, you're not going to make it. You're going to get tired of the commands. This was great. It was when it was trending on social media, and I was really using the Torah to beat my pastor and my friends on the head, saying how unrighteous they are. But I didn't really want it for myself. And now that it's really set in, it's like, yeah, I'm going to go off and do other things. That happens a lot.
Forever.
Hey, Polyhart here. Was calling my dad this morning, wishing him a Happy New Year, and he said, hey, Happy New Year back, son. And he was listening to Alexander Scornby read the book of Ezekiel on audiobook, and I was like, that's awesome. I love listening to good translations, but the thing is, with a lot of times when I go to research biblical translations, I want to look up a passage, I want to see what the original Hebrew says, and I want to see what the real meaning is behind it, and I can't find a lot of good translations out there. I go to BibleHub.com, 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 and I go there and I'll look at each word and find out what the best solution is to this verse. If I want to try to look at something in the context of something else, really interesting stuff. My friend Pamela Glasgow is translating the entire Bible into the Paleo Hebrew, the first written language of the Hebrews. It was Paleo. It was like a pictorial language. It's not only spelt and built, it's a unique pictorial language, kind of like the Chinese or Japanese or Korean is a pictorial language as well as a said language and a spelt language. When you add a different thing to the end, it creates the entire idea from the beginning, makes it a new idea. So Paleo Hebrew, really impactful, and we are raising money for her to do that for a full-time job / business / career / ministry. And Noel Hadley with the unexpectedcosmology.com is leading the charge on getting her translations out to the world. So below, I'm going to list a link on how you can give to see the Paleo Hebrew Bible come to its full fruition. Also, she's got some of the Bible, I believe all the Torah, and some of the Psalms are being done now. It's a continual work, but I'm excited. It's going to be spectacular. So how you can help this come to pass is by your financial gift, your giving to Pamela, so that she can continue on in the calling of her life, which it's going to be awesome. One day I want to go to BibleHub.com and see the Paleo Hebrew as well, which would be mind-blowing. So you have a good day, and I'll see you later. Bye.